Things are heating up in Washington, and what's happening could completely change the course of this season. While some players are proving they were worth the investment, others are creating issues that could explode at any moment. I'm going to tell you 3 stories that are going to shake the entire Commanders organization, and no fan should miss them. First, there's a rookie picked in the 7th round who's leaving everyone speechless in practice and could completely revolutionize the team's backfield. Then, another rookie from the 2nd round is proving why the organization invested so much in him, and how he could be the key piece to fixing a secondary that gave us so many problems. But what's really got everyone worried is our star receiver's contract situation, as his patience is wearing thin, and he might make drastic decisions that would change the entire offensive outlook. If you're a Commanders fan, stick around until the end, because what I'm going to tell you could define the success or failure of the upcoming season. Give the video a like if you want more exclusive content like this, and subscribe, because this community is growing into a true Burgundy and Gold family. Let me tell you something that many didn't see coming. When Adam Peters picked Jackery Kroski-Merritt in the 7th round of the draft, most thought it was just to fill the roster. But let me tell you what's happening in these OTAs that's got everyone talking. John Keane from ESPN has been watching these practices closely, and what he's reporting about Kroski-Merritt is impressive. Now I ask you, how often do we see a 7th round rookie stand out from day one? I don't think very often, and that's why this situation is so special. The speed and explosiveness this guy is showing are something that caught everyone's eye immediately. I'm telling you this. He's a one-cut runner who has the ability to turn the smallest gaps into big yards. Considering how much our run game suffered last season, this could be exactly the speed injection we needed. But here's what's interesting about Kroski-Merritt's story. This young man lost almost an entire season because the NCAA revoked his eligibility after just 1 game with Arizona. Now I tell you this, when a player loses playing time like that, they come back hungry and with something to prove. And that's exactly what we're seeing. The coaches are going to take things slowly with him because he missed a lot of football last season. I think it's the right decision, but I wouldn't be surprised to see this guy force his way into a rotational role faster than expected. Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler will continue to be the main backs, but Kroski-Merritt is putting pressure on Jeremy McNichols and Chris Rodriguez Jr. Now I ask you, could it be that we've finally found that missing piece for our backfield? Because if this rookie keeps progressing like this, we could be looking at the future starter of the position. And in a league where the running game is still crucial, having that explosive speed could make all the difference in close games. That the name. Reality is, the Commanders needed to find ways to improve their ground attack after what we saw last season. And while no one expected the solution to come from a 7th round pick, sometimes diamonds in the rough show up where you least expect them. Now let's move on to a story that has me really excited about the future of our secondary. Trey Amos, our 2nd round pick, is showing exactly why Adam Peters considered taking him in the 1st round, and why they were excited when he was still available for their 2nd pick. Let me tell you what's happening in these 7-on-7s. Amos is not just keeping pace with established veterans, but he's making plays that have everyone talking. In one of his most impressive plays, he managed to stay upright after getting his feet tangled with Michael Gallup and managed to dive under a deflected pass for an interception. Now I ask you, when was the last time we saw a rookie corner make those kinds of adjustments from day one? I think that speaks of natural instincts and mental preparation that you just can't teach. But what really impresses me is how he's competing against elite receivers. He almost got a 2nd interception, working against Luke McCaffrey, and managed to keep up with Deebo Samuel when lined up against him. I'm telling you this, if you can compete against Samuel in practice, you're ready to compete against anyone in the league. Amos's physique is exactly what we needed in our secondary. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighing 195 pounds, he has the build to be a physical press corner. His reach allows him to get his hands on receivers and disrupt their routes, and he has the potential to be a winner in contested situations. Now I ask you, isn't that exactly what we need to face receivers like George Pickens of the Cowboys? What I like is that Amos is learning from veterans like Marshon Lattimore and Mike Sainristil. He himself says that everyone's game is different, but you can learn from everyone. That willingness to soak up knowledge is exactly what you want to see in a rookie Joe Witt Jr., our defensive coordinator, says Amos is ahead of his learning curve. I think those words should be music to all Commanders fans' ears, especially considering how much we struggled in the secondary last season. The Heinrich plan is to use him primarily on the perimeter, although Adam Peters says he can play different positions. That versatility is valuable, especially when you're trying to build a secondary that can adapt to different offensive schemes. The reality is, we need players like Amos to develop quickly if we want to take the next step as a team. And based on what we're seeing in these early practices, it seems like we might have something special on our hands. Now we come to the story that really has my attention and should concern all Commanders fans. Terry McLaurin, our star receiver and the heart of our offense, is getting increasingly frustrated with the lack of progress in negotiating his new contract. Jordan Schultz reported that McLaurin is entering the final year of his 3-year, $68 million contract signed before the 2022-2023 season. And let me tell you, when a player of his caliber heads into their final year without an extension, things can get complicated quickly. Now I ask you, do you realize what it would mean to lose Terry McLaurin right now? We're talking about a receiver who has accumulated more than 1,000 receiving yards in each of the last 5 seasons. 13 receiving touchdowns last season, breaking his previous personal record by 6 scores. McLaurin's production and consistency made him the 9th receiver with the most yards in the last 5 years with 5,460 yards, just ahead of names like Jamar Chase, Mike Evans, and DK Metcalf. I think those numbers speak for themselves about the value this man brings to our team. But here's the real problem. We just acquired Deebo Samuel in a trade with the 49ers to form an explosive receiving duo. Now I ask you, how concerning would it be if McLaurin asked for a trade and these two never even played a single snap together? McLaurin's impact on our offense is unmatched. It's no coincidence that the best season of his career aligned with the Commanders' first double-digit win season since 2012. This man is fundamental to everything we do offensively. Washington's mandatory minicamp begins on June 10th, and if no agreement is reached before that date, it seems safe to assume that McLaurin will be absent from the minicamp for the first time in his career. I'm telling you, when a player like Terry, who has always been professional, starts missing team activities, the situation is serious. The organization needs to understand that we're in a real competitive window. We reached the NFC Championship game last season with Jaden Daniels in his rookie year. Now I ask you, are they going to risk that continuity and chemistry by not paying what one of the best receivers in the league is worth? McLaurin has proven his worth season after season, maintaining an elite level regardless of who his quarterback was. With Daniels now established and an improved offensive arsenal, this should be the time to secure your star, not create uncertainty. I believe the Commanders should act quickly to resolve this situation. McLaurin's frustration is understandable and justified. He has given everything for this organization and deserves to be compensated as the elite receiver he is. Now I ask you, Commanders family, do you think the organization should prioritize McLaurin's contract above all else? Are you excited about what our rookies are showing in these practices? And what do you think about the chances of Javon Kinlaw finally reaching his potential with this new defensive scheme? Leave me your comments below because I want to know exactly what you think about these situations that could define our season. If you think McLaurin should be the #1 priority, let me know. If you think these rookies are going to be key factors this year, I want to hear it too. This community has turned into a true family, and your opinions matter. Every comment, every like, every subscription helps us grow and bring you the best content about our beloved Commanders. If you enjoy this type of in-depth analysis and exclusive news, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We are building something special here, a community where all Commanders fans can find the best content and the most passionate discussions about our team. Don't miss upcoming videos because we will be closely following all these stories, especially McLaurin's contract situation and the development of our rookies throughout the mandatory minicamp. And remember, hail to the Redskins!